What's up guys, it's your boy Endymion here with another review for you. This time it's the hotly anticipated release of Resident Evil Village. So how does it stack up to previous releases? Well, let's find out. The gist of the story is you play as Ethan Winters, or as I like to call him, Resident Evil's version of a fleshlight due to how much he gets used and abused for others' delights. Basically, after the events of Resident Evil 7, Ethan and his wife Mia have a kid named Rose. They live in Europe somewhere, their house is raided, the baby is stolen, and Ethan tracks the abductors to a rural village in the snowy mountains of somewhere in Europe. Probably Romania or something? I don't know, they don't exactly say where exactly. Anyway, Ethan arrives there, and instead of the usual zombies we get in a Resident Evil game, we're presented with lichens, like werewolves, and sort of vampire women and some other weird stuff. Yeah, on the surface this all seems weird, I know, and not very Resident Evil-y, but trust me when I say that all this weird bizarre stuff is eventually explained as to why it is what it is. So yeah, there's werewolves kind of, I guess, but it'll make sense eventually. Anyway, the game feels like a mishmash of Resident Evil 7 with the overall feeling and flavors of Resident Evil 4, which is my personal favorite in the series. Both games have you playing a dude trying to save someone from a bunch of freaks. The difference though is that Leon in 4 is full of charisma and is amazing, and Ethan is, well, he's Ethan. There's a reason why Capcom never shows Ethan's face. It's cause Ethan is forgettable. He doesn't hold a candle in terms of charisma or coolness as to the likes of Jill, Claire, Leon, or Chris, for example. He's just some guy who we play for, which I mean is fine, but whenever you see a scene in game with Chris Redfield, you're instantly glued to your seat because Chris is so badass, and then you go back to being Ethan. Like, Ethan isn't the worst, but he's a definition of the whole we have food at home kind of deal. He's blander than what's out there, but he gets the job done, I guess. I just really hope in future installments we get to play as, the fan favorites again. I miss Leon and Jill. Anyways, is the game scary? Nah, I don't really think so. There is one level that is now infamous for being super scary, but in all honesty, I'm so desensitized to these kinds of things that I was laughing instead of screaming, but I'm not the average person for this kind of thing. If you're squeamish or jump easy, Village is gonna probably spook you quite a bit. If you've seen stuff in your life like me, you'll be fine. Honestly, the best parts of the game are the castle and the village itself. The other levels are good too, don't get me wrong, but the castle and the village just felt the most fun to explore. The beginning is a little too much cutscene-y though for me, but when the game actually starts and you're collecting items and surviving and you're shooting weird stuff, the game is fire at that point. Finding upgrades, solving the weird puzzles, and escaping Big Mommy Milkers is all fun and good. The boss battles were also pretty damn fun too. There's only one boss battle that felt very bullet spongy in my opinion. It's about 60%-ish into the game, but beyond that, I felt like the boss's health bars were appropriate and didn't feel like I was pumping endless amounts of resources just to take them down. Except that one boss that I won't spoil, I guess, but yeah, he was kind of a little too spongy. As for the replay value, I think there's a good amount of it here for sure. Village gives you quite a few guns to upgrade, and in order to fully max them all out, it will take a bit of time for sure. Weirdly enough though, the game doesn't have an item box for you to put stuff in that you aren't using, so throughout the game I ended up having to sell guns I had upgraded in order to make space for the newer, stronger guns instead. Just seems like a bizarre and unnecessary change, especially since once you beat the game, you can buy things like infinite ammo for like whatever gun you want, so the whole deciding which gun to have and which to sell seems kind of pointless in the long run, but that's just my opinion. I beat the game in around 9 hours, but mind you, I have a bad habit of fine-combing every area I go into and checking under everything to make sure I don't miss anything, so that definitely attributed to that. If you're not crazy like me, it's probably going to be closer to a 7-hour journey for sure. But I think for what is here, Village is definitely worth playing, especially if you're into survival horror. I don't think it's better than Resident Evil 4 or 2, but it's still a really fun and great game to experience. I'm interested to see where the series goes next, and I wouldn't mind a third-person view from now on instead of first, but that's just me and my bias, I guess. Anyway, I rate games from an F rank all the way up to S rank, and I'm giving Resident Evil Village an A rank. It's a great game with good replayability, fun moments, and stellar production values. Ethan is bland, but I mean, hopefully in the future we see more interesting people at the helm, I hope. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and sub for more videos like this one. I'm Endymion, and I can't wait to see what comes next from Resident Evil. See ya.